Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. During your interview, some immigration officers might ask you to explain the meaning of some of the words from your N-400 application form to make sure you understand what you filled out and test your ability to understand and speak English. In this video, we will go over all the questions from the Part 12, Additional Information About You, of the N-400 application form, and going over the definition for all the vocabulary. Let's get started.
Have you ever claimed to be a US citizen?
No, I haven't.
Do you know what claimed is?
Claim. To state something without proof.
Have you ever registered to vote?
No, never.
What does register mean?
Register. To sign up.
Have you ever voted in the United States?
No.
What does vote mean?
Vote. To formally choose a candidate.
Do you now have, or did you ever have, a hereditary title or an order of nobility in any foreign country? Do you know what?
No.
Do you know what hereditary titles mean?
Hereditary titles. The title you receive when you are born into a royal family, such as a prince or princess.
And what does order of nobility mean?
Order of nobility. A position given by a king or queen.
Have you ever been declared legally incompetent or been confined to a mental institution?
No, never.
Do you know what declared is?
Declared. To be diagnosed.
Do you know what legally incompetent is?
Legally incompetent. Can't make decisions for yourself due to mental problems under the law.
What does mental institution mean?
Mental institution. A hospital for people with problems in their head.
Do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes?
No, I don't.
Do you know what overdue taxes is?
Overdue taxes. Didn't pay taxes on time.
Have you ever not filed a tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident?
No.
What does file a tax return mean?
File a tax return. Send tax paperwork to the government.
Have you called yourself a non-U.S. resident?
No, never.
What does non-U.S. resident mean?
Non-U.S. resident. A person who doesn't live in the U.S.
Have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
No, never.
Do you know what the Communist Party is?
The Communist Party. The government owns and controls everything, for example, China or North Korea.
Have you ever been a member of a totalitarian party?
No.
What does a totalitarian party mean?
Totalitarian party. The government has complete control over everything, and the people have no power.
Have you ever been a member of a terrorist organization?
No, never.
Or do you know what a terrorist is?
Terrorist, a person who uses violence for political or religious purposes.
Have you ever advocated the overthrow of any government by force or violence?
No, never.
What does advocate mean?
Advocate, to publicly support.
Do you know what overthrow is?
Overthrow, to remove a government from power by force.
Have you ever persecuted any person because of race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion?
No.
What does persecute mean?
Persecute, to hurt someone badly because of religious or political beliefs.
Do you know what national origin is?
National origin, where a person is from.
Did you work for or associate with the Nazi SS military unit?
No, never.
What does associate mean?
Associate, to have a connection.
What does Nazi mean?
Nazi, the party under Hitler.
Do you know what an SS military unit is?
SS military unit, an organization under the Nazi government.
Were you ever involved in any way with genocide?
No, never.
What does involve mean?
Involve, to take part in.
Do you know what genocide is?
Genocide, killing a group of people because of their religion or race.
Were you ever involved in any way with torture?
No.
What does torture mean?
Torture, to cause great pain to someone.
Were you ever involved in any way with killing or trying to kill someone?
No, never.
What does kill mean?
Kill, to cause someone to die.
Were you ever involved in any way with forcing or trying to force someone to have any kind of sexual contact or relations?
No, never.
Do you know what forcing sexual contact or relations is?
Forcing sexual contact or relations. Touching someone's private parts when one says no.
Were you ever involved in any way with not letting someone practice his or her religion?
No.
What does participate mean?
Participate, to be part of.
Were you ever a member of a military unit or paramilitary unit?
No.
What does a paramilitary unit mean?
Paramilitary unit, a military group that is not official.
Were you ever a member of the self-defense unit or vigilante unit?
No.
Do you know what a self-defense unit is?
Self-defense unit, a group that protects a place using weapons.
What does a vigilante unit mean?
Vigilante unit, a group that acts like the police but is not official.
Were you ever a member of a rebel group or guerrilla group?
No, never.
What does a rebel group mean?
Rebel group, a group that fights a government.
Do you know what a guerrilla group is?
Guerrilla group, a group that uses weapons against the military, police, or government.
Were you ever a member of a militia or insurgent organization?
No.
What does militia mean?
Militia, an army that is not official.
Do you know what an insurgent organization is?
Insurgent organization, a group that uses weapons and fights against the government.
Did you otherwise ever serve in a prison camp, detention facility, or labor camp?
No, never.
What does serve mean?
Serve, to work.
And how about prison camp?
Prison camp, a place to keep enemy soldiers or political prisoners.
Do you know what a detention facility is?
Detention facility, a place where people are forced to stay.
What does a labor camp mean?
Labor camp, a place where people are forced to work.
Did you ever help any group, unit, or organization that used a weapon against any person or threatened to do so?
No, never.
What does a weapon mean?
Weapon, knife or gun.
Have you ever committed, assisted in committing, or attempted to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested?
No, I haven't.
What does crime mean?
Crime, an action that breaks the law.
Do you know what committing a crime is?
Commit a crime, to do something that breaks the law.
What does assist in committing a crime mean?
Assisted in committing a crime, to help someone break the law.
Do you know what attempted to commit a crime is?
Attempted to commit a crime, to do something that breaks the law.
Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained?
No.
What does arrested mean?
Arrested, Handcuffed by the police.
Do you know what cited is?
Cited. Given a ticket by the police.
What about detained?
Detained. Held in custody by the police.
Have you ever been charged with committing?
No, never.
What does charged mean?
Charged. The police formally tell you that you did something illegal.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
No, never.
What is convicted?
Convicted. Found guilty of a crime under the law.
Have you ever been placed in an alternative sentencing or rehabilitative program?
No, I haven't.
Do you know what alternative sentencing is?
Alternate sentencing. A different way to punish someone instead of going to jail, such as community service.
What does a rehabilitative program mean?
Rehabilitative program. A program to help someone recover from drugs or alcohol.
Have you ever received a suspended sentence, been placed on probation, or been paroled?
No, never.
What does a suspended sentence mean?
Suspended sentence. Delayed sentence.
Do you know what probation is?
Probation. Report to an officer regularly instead of jail time.
What does parole mean?
Parole. Allowed to leave prison early due to good behavior.
Have you ever been in jail or prison?
No.
What does jail or prison mean?
Jail or prison. A place where the police keep people who have been arrested.
Have you ever been a habitual drunkard?
No.
Do you know what a habitual drunkard is?
Habitual drunkard. Someone who drinks too much alcohol regularly.
Have you ever been a prostitute?
No.
What does prostitute mean?
Prostitute. Someone who has sex with another person for money.
Have you ever sold or smuggled controlled substances, illegal drugs, or narcotics?
No, never.
Do you know what smuggle is?
Smuggle. To take things or people to or from a country illegally.
What does narcotics mean?
Narcotics. Illegal drugs such as heroin or cocaine.
Have you ever married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit?
No, never.
Do you know what immigration benefits mean?
Immigration benefit. Things like a visa, green card, or citizenship.
What does obtain immigration benefits mean?
Obtain immigration benefits. To gain things like a green card.
Have you ever gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling?
No, never.
What does gambling mean?
Gamble. To play a game for money.
Have you ever failed to support your dependents or to pay alimony?
No.
What does paying alimony mean?
To pay alimony. To pay money to an ex-spouse after a divorce.
Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States?
No, never.
Do you know what public benefit is?
Public benefit. Money from the government to help you, such as food stamps.
Have you ever given any U.S. government officials any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading?
No, never.
What does fraudulent mean?
Fraudulent. To claim something that is not true.
Have you ever lied to any U.S. government officials to gain entry or admission in the United States?
No.
What does admission into the United States mean?
Admission into the United States. The right to enter the United States.
Have you ever been placed in removal, exclusion, rescission, or deportation proceedings?
No, never.
Do you know what deport is?
Deport. To force a person to leave a country.
Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces?
No.
What do armed forces mean?
Armed forces. Military.
Have you ever been court-martialed or disciplined? Or have you received another than honorable discharge while in the U.S. Armed Forces?
No, never.
What does court-martial mean?
Court-martialed. To go to a military court.
Have you ever deserted from the U.S. Armed Forces?
No.
What is deserted?
Deserted. To abandon.
Did you register for the Selective Service?
No.
Do you know what Selective Service is?
Selective service. Registered in the U.S. Armed Forces required by law.
Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States?
Yes, I do.
What does Constitution mean?
Constitution is the supreme law of the land.
Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Yes, I do.
What is an oath?
Oath. A promise.
What does allegiance mean?
Allegiance. To be loyal to something.
Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Yes, I'm willing to.
What is the oath of allegiance to the United States?
Oath of allegiance to the United States. A promise to be loyal to the United States.
Are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States?
Yes, I'm willing to.
What does bear arms mean?
Bear arms. Own or use a gun.
Are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces?
Yes, I'm willing to.
Do you know what non-combatant services mean?
Non-combatant services. Services that do not engage in fighting during the war, such as nursing and translation.
Are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction?
Yes, I'm willing to.
What does work of national importance mean?
Work of national importance. Tasks that are important to a nation during a crisis.
What does civilian mean?
Civilian. Anyone who is not in the military.